Let's roll. Co-pilot on the passenger side, be so fly. Yeah. She so lit, we so high. Just me and my chick, yeah. Just me and my chick, yeah. Co-pilot on the passenger side, be so fly. Yeah. She so lit, we so high. Just me and my chick, yeah. Just me and my chick, yeah. She give me a bit of her love. Yo, what up, y'all? This is your boy, Rod One, and I want to welcome y'all to a special segment from Spark-N-Conversation. This one is called Convo Corner, and what we do is we like to highlight those in the business, man, that's the pioneers, you know what I'm saying, that paved the way for people like me and those like you just to be able to just believe in themselves, right, and not fall victim to that whole mentality of you can't do something. You know, on this platform, man, I like to let all the people know whenever we talk, you know what I'm saying, if it's any kind of motivation I can give y'all, I like to make sure I let y'all know that a lot of things that's inside of you are there for a reason. It's not just an average thought, right? They keep telling us that no thought is an original thought. Sometimes these things are messages that's being passed down from those that passed on, hopefully that you will continue on their legacy, because sometimes very few of us really know our past and where we come from. Yeah, we hear certain things being said and people throw things out, but I think sometimes people just pick up things as they go along. They don't really take the time to find out. But what I like to do is I like to make sure that on this platform, we give out the information to make sure we spark the conversation and you guys do the research for me. But for this special segment, I got a special co-host. So I got to bring her up real quick. And y'all have seen her on the platform before, right? And we talked to her and she's been interviewing a lot of people, you know, on the editorial side, you know what I mean? But right now, this is going to be our debut of being able to speak to some of the world's most interesting people on a more advanced level, right? So let me bring her up real quick. Gloria, what's going on?
Hey, Rob.
All right, how you doing today?
I'm good. What about you?
Hey, I'm great. I'm here. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be able to chop it up with our guests that we have on today. It's amazing.
Yes, it's going to be fun.
I know, definitely. So what we got to do is let's just make sure that the people catch up with you real quick and let them know who you are and what your value is to the platform.
Okay. I am Gloria Peebles. I'm a writer and editor for Perception magazine. And what I do is I bring people's story to life. And today we're going to have someone that is on the set that is going to be so much fun and interesting for you guys to listen to.
That's right. That's right. So before I bring the brother up, man, I just want to let y'all know exactly who we're about to bring up. All right. So listen, we got the brother Victor Orlando on the platform. Okay. And listen, this brother is a percussionist to the stars, musician, music producer, songwriter, actor, comedian, writer, movie producer, and director. Recent recipient of a Lifetime Achievement Award in percussion presented by the 7th Annual Hollywood Fame Awards. Percussionist for the multi-platinum Lowrider Band, formerly known as War, Grammy-nominated NAACP Award nominee for his CD In the House, compromiser of phenomenal funk, jazz, and Latin music, hence the name of his band Fun Ja La. Available at iTunes, eMusic, Spotify, CD Baby, and most of your favorite online music stores. You may have heard of his song Argentina in the film For the Love of Money, starring Edward Furlong and James Caan. Victor is the former percussionist of the Gap Band. His work can be heard on timeless R&B classics Outstanding. His work can also be heard on the unforgettable R&B hit Computer Love by Roger and Zapp. Victor has performed and recorded with Yarborough and Peoples, Tina Marie, Buddy Miles, Billy Preston, Bobby Womack, LL Cool J, Shaka Khan, and many, many more. So listen, y'all, I'm not going to hold y'all at all. I'm going to bring the man of the honor up right now so we could chop this up. Spark-N-Conversations Convo Corner. Mr. Victor, what's up, brother?
Hello. How are you all today? Hey now. Great to see both of you.
Definitely, man. And thank you so much for being on the platform, brother, because we know it's so much stuff that you could be doing with your time and you're sharing it with us. So thank you so much for that.
No problem. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me.
Definitely. And Gloria, listen, I want to, we got to thank you too, because you making this possible, connecting everybody and connecting all the dots. How are you feeling today?
I am feeling wonderful. And I just want the people to know that Victor do wear a lot of hats. Like you said, he is a musician, he is an actor, he is a comedian, but most of all and foremost, Victor is also a cancer survivor, and he's my friend.
Hey,
So he
and
has a
that's what's
lot to share with us today.
that's amazing. That's amazing. And that's what we want to do. So, Victor, let's do this, brother. We out of all those things I said, I mean, those are great accomplishments, right? But let's start a little bit in the beginning, man. Like, at what point in your life did you realize music was it and that was the only way and that was your way?
I didn't know it was going to be the way. I just knew I enjoyed it. Back in, I guess, middle school, I was playing football, which I loved football, but I got hit.
Right.
That's what you do in football, you get hit. And I'm
Right.
like, okay, this is not it. It's not for me. Being hit
Mm,
is not for me. That hurt. I was a kid, so pain and being a kid didn't match. So
right.
I'm like, well, where can I go and hit something and I don't get hurt? And it was the band room.
Right.
So from that point on, I'm like, I still ended up on the football field on Friday nights, hitting the drums, not being hit by the opponent.
That's
So
right.
I still got both of my worlds filled at the same time, watching football and being on the field. But I just enjoyed music so much through my whole life, basically the 60s, the 70s. And when I graduated, I had already knew that was what I was going to do because I had been playing even before graduating high school. I had been playing and I had gotten a taste of what I was doing, but I
Right.
still didn't know what I was really doing. I just was performing, enjoying it, and people were enjoying it, and I was getting paid. But
Right.
it was the high school graduation statement, I guess that would be the statement of life for me. My mother said, "What college do you want to go to?" And I said, "Well, I don't want to go to college because music and the stage is going to be my college for the rest of my life. I will
Right.
be going to school every day for the rest of my life. Every stage is a classroom. Every concert is an event or me being in my version of what a college would be.
Right.
You go to college to learn stuff to make money in life. Well, I was
Right.
already making money in life doing what I wanted to do. I just didn't know everything. So the best place to find out everything would be to just jump in both feet and go from it from there.
Right.
And it wasn't approved by anybody but me. And
Right.
I took it from there. God had a plan and a vision for me, and I kind
Right.
of followed my mind, which I didn't know what was that was God's mind of leading me to what I was doing, which was to be the giver of the gift, is what I do.
Right. And I think that's important because most people don't realize that their purpose is attached to their gift. You know, most people put their gift in their pocket because they put bills before everything in life. And they don't realize that their gift can lead them into that space if they just allow it to be, to flourish. And don't be afraid to learn more about it because, people be born with certain gifts and they're good at things. But like you said, learning more about it, learning from people who have put certain other elements together that you may not have thought, which is really important. I want to go back to something that you said that I thought was outstanding was because I had a guy on the show Tuesday and he was talking about the concept of resistance. Like your mind, whenever you feel like you can do something and you know you have the ability to do it, you know it's in you to do it, but something just stops you from doing it. But what you said was you approved yourself. And I think so many people miss that part, right? That the small voices that come that lead you. I said this in the beginning. That's too is crazy because you just don't know where those thoughts are coming from. Those things are coming from, our people who passed on, who was telling us, look, you can do this. I want you to do this, and you get these thoughts and you go ahead straight ahead. And I think that's amazing too. For real. Yeah. How early did you pick up? Oh, so did you pick up the drums first?
Yes, when I went to the band room, basically I got into band. I got accepted and put into band in high school. And I went to the drums because I was basically mentally already into drums, but I was into jazz drumming. Idris Muhammad, Billy Cobham,
Mm,
all of the great jazz drummers, that whole thing I was into.
yeah.
And the band room was basically like the movie Drumline, but in the 70s. And
Mm,
we would the band I was in at my high school would um, we would pattern ourselves after the band called the Grambling New Orleans Marching Band from Grambling.
yeah.
Yeah, they were the show band of the South. Them, Texas Southern, Prairie View, A&M, all of those were
Right.
show bands. They weren't just go out, march 8 steps, turn around and come back and march 8 steps, go out and come. They were a show
Uh,
band. And
yeah.
that's what excited me, that they were putting show with the music. And I took that creativity and added my own flavor to it because I was silly, wild, and stupid back then. So I could add my own flavor, and I said,
Yeah.
like Nick Cannon. Oh, they like that. So I became not that brazen like Nick did in Drumline, where he just walked out in front of the guy and took over and did his thing. But I fed off the excitement of what I was doing,
Yeah.
was in line but different. And but it wasn't until about 68, 69 did I switch from drums to percussion, because I
Mm,
went to see a movie. The movie was called Woodstock. And
mm,
when Santana came out and they were doing a jingle, and that was it for me. The percussion was right up front next to Carlos, and it was an electricity that came off of that screen. And I was like, wow, that's what I want to do. And
mm.
it stuck with me. I never went back to drums. I can play them for myself and if I need to play them, but I never went back to it as the primary instrument. From that
Right.
point on, I'm learning everything that Santana's percussionists were doing and watching them. And then excuse me, the Mongo Santa Marias and the Pete Escovedos and the
Mm,
Tito Puentes started coming to be prevalent in my life, and the licks and what they were doing. So that was my class. That was me going to
mm.
class, watching these guys and learning from these guys, and not having to step into a room and being put in a box to learn or not to learn, or get a grade or not to get a grade.
Right. And it's crazy because during that era, man, of music, man, so much great music came out of that time frame, man. Because I remember being little and being having the force to listen to it. It's not like
Mm,
now. Now your kids get in and they take over your radio. Back in the
yeah.
days, you ain't touch nothing. You sat back there and heard what they
Mm,
heard, and you had to sing along and hum to all this great music. Because where I'm from, it was more of a, that whole Motown and that whole Philadelphia and that whole, you know what I'm saying? That whole thing growing up in the 80s. But our parents is from the 60s, 70s, so that's what they listened to. But we was
mhm.
forced to have to listen to that. So it was such great music, and nothing was sampled. It was all original music, mic'd up, recorded, and really, you know what I mean? Even down to the bridges and the changes, it was just all the way through. It wasn't punched. It wasn't. You
Right.
you guys are a different breed of animal, man. When it come down to that, man, for
And
real,
it was played by people. People came
man.
up with that and they played it. If they thought it, they played it and it was over. Now they don't think it. They just hear it and sample it and put it in there. They don't think that stuff. They don't think of it that way.
No, man, that's right. Y'all play everything that they even whatever they took the sample, it was played, and that's just where I. That's why I say, people have to at some point, man. We have to come up with different ways to honor the musicians, in so many different ways. Because I remember watching a documentary about the guys, the Funk Brothers. I think the ones who played for
Yeah.
Motown.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and how they would be places and restaurants and different places, and the music would come on, and nobody would know that they were the ones that actually played this music, and they
Yeah.
were only getting paid as session musicians, and
Right.
then going to play jazz in the clubs at night to make extra money after they was played for Motown. And I thought that was crazy because a lot of the records that they were responsible for playing are some of the biggest Motown hits ever.
Yeah.
And for them not to have that just do is bananas. How did you know that you had to go out the way that you did business and as a musician outside of like what these brothers went through?
Well, I mean, when I finally left Dallas and came up to Los Angeles, I had learned enough. I call it, what do you call it? Freshman year of college. I had learned enough
Facts.
in Dallas, and I'm like, okay, I need to graduate. And then a fake opportunity came to me through some hustling and finagling from another friend of mine. Said, hey man, I ran into these two guys. They play with Ike and Tina Turner. They want us to come to LA and put us in the band. And that blew my mind to hear that as a young up and coming cat trying to do something. And
Right.
I'm finishing. I've gone as far as I can go in Dallas, and then this opportunity is spoken to me. Now it was a lie, and it was a lie that worked for me because it shot me on into coming to LA on that lie that was going to happen. And I get here and I go to the studio and I meet the two guys that said that, and they said, no, we told your friend if y'all happen to be up in LA, just drop by the studio and say hello. That's how embellishments happen. But this was I won't call it a spiritual embellishment, but it was a meaningful embellishment. Hey, if we come up here, they're going to put us in the band. Well, that's all I could think of. But when I got there and they said what the truth was, I was like, that sounds like this guy was just making up some stuff to tell us to get to LA. Okay, well, I'm here now. Now you got to make the best of it because you're here. You cut the tie from Dallas. It's like a ship that you cut the rope and it's going on. You moved on and going in the opposite direction. So now what are you going to do about it? And that's where the California hustle began. I should have wrote a song about that. The California hustle, because
Right.
but
Man.
what I equated it to was I'm in Dallas and there's drums, bass, guitar, and keyboards and percussion and vocalists. They're all in a line in each of them's lane. And the
Right.
different people in front of you, the better the experience, the more talented is in front of you. You get to that line at this desk and they pass out your next gig or your next job. So in Dallas, I was at the front of the line always. Every time I do a gig and get out, I'm back at the front again. Not to say the rest of the guys weren't popular or they couldn't play. It was just what
Yeah.
I did would put me back to the front of the line when I got in.
Right.
Well, I got to LA and I was like the 150,000th guy in the line. I got to like start over because I knew nobody. I knew no musicians. I knew no record companies. I knew nobody. And that's where God started. If I didn't know him, God knew him. He started sending them in my direction. And I got in that line and I started just playing with different people. And next thing I know, I'm riding in a Rolls Royce with Buddy Miles and not really knowing who I'm in a Rolls Royce with. But I'm playing, I'm happy, I'm with a A-list artist, and I'm like, okay, this is cool. What's next? And every day of my life, it's always been a what's next. I never know what's next.
Dang. That's amazing.
It's a
Gloria, what
journey.
you thinking?
Well, Victor is amazing anyway, and this man probably knows most of the people in Hollywood, and I'm not talking about just know of them. He knows most of them personally because he's been in the entertainment industry for over 50 years. But he's done so much in the entertainment industry, and Victor continues to do a lot even today in entertainment industry. And if you, we wouldn't have enough time to talk about everything that Victor has done or that is doing. But I do
Right.
want Victor to shine some light on his nonprofit organization that he has going right now. So can you tell us something about that, Victor?
Yeah. So all of this music stuff, all of it's been a journey, and I've dealt with everything good, bad, and otherwise along this journey.
Right.
The good has been playing, making some money, doing some albums, doing some touring. The bad has been some of the pitfalls in it that happens along. It's not always been roses and accolades. It's been a lot of the ride that I didn't know about getting on it, or
Right.
what was going to happen to me going through it. And in 2020, right as COVID hit, we weren't doing anything. And I found out I had cancer. I found out I had cancer. And
Wow.
that was a hard one to deal with because my second wife had cancer, and fourth 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 stage breast cancer, and she died. So that was the only
Wow.
other time I knew about cancer. And I had gone to the hospital or gone to the doctor and got the word that that's what I had.
Right.
And it was prostate cancer. I had them take it out. I'm clean and clear and free of cancer free to this day, which is the blessing. But when I was going through it, I said, well, what am I going to do when I get out of this, God? What can I do to help the other musicians? That's what I wanted to do, was help other guys in the same boat I'm in, but I was a little further advanced because I had insurance. So
Right.
I put a foundation together for uninsured musicians to get their prostate PSA numbers for
Wow.
cancer. So it's called the Victor Orlando Hope Foundation for Prostate Cancer Testing and Awareness, so that you would know what, oh, there I am, testing and awareness, so that you would know what your PSA numbers are, and you wouldn't,
Right.
and you know, like I did. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Let
we
me
can hear
see.
We
you.
can hear you.
Let me see which one of the platforms you can hear me on.
We can hear
Can
you.
you?
This one. This other one, it says that your device is not connected. So the one that you're on now, that this
Yeah.
one is good. Yeah,
Well,
this one is good.
it's on my phone. I'll leave it on the phone because the
Okay.
thing on the computer just came back up.
Okay.
But yeah. So when I went and I got taken care of, and then I said I wanted to start a foundation. I wanted to do something to help the other musicians, and that
Right.
came to me from the source in my ears, God speaking to me saying, start a foundation to help other musicians. So that's when I
Right.
put it together. And we've had two fundraisers. The first fundraiser, back in the day, there was a song I called Express Yourself by
Right.
Charles Wright and the Watts 103rd Street Rhythm Band. Express yourself, bam, bum,
Yeah.
ba-da-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, ba-da-ba-da-bum.
Mm-hmm.
Friend of mine, know him. We've been cool for the years I've been knowing him. And that night, he walked up on my stage when I was doing a concert, the foundation fundraising concert, and he said, could he have the mic? And I gave it to him. And he said, I want to give Victor Orlando $20,000 to start his foundation. I
She-
just started crying like a baby that didn't have a bottle. I was just like all over the place. And I was like, wow. But
Wow.
it let me know that God was signaturing, this is what I want you to do, because now here's the money to do it.
Right.
So we put together the foundation, had to do all of the LLCs and the groundwork and the paperwork and the blah blah blah. Well, that all costs money, which I had not any knowledge of. I just said, I want to do it. Bam, it should be done. And
Yeah.
business was like, bam, it's not done like that. You need money. I was like, oh,
Mm,
my bad. So then the money came, and then I was like,
right.
now what? I got the money. Now what?
We
So
in there, right?
yeah, we in there, and I had the second fundraiser this past September at the Saban Theater here in Los Angeles. And
Wow.
we had the group the Word Up Story, which is formerly the members of Cameo in that group.
Mm.
Everybody except Larry Blackman, who has the name, and he's going on with that. I had the rest of the guys that was in the band. They were my headlining act for that show. So
Wow.
that's what I'm doing. It's we have a website. It's called the it stands for Victor Orlando Hope Foundation. It's VOHF.info. And that gives you all of the information you need to know. The musicians to sign up. If they have no insurance, sign up. We take them into our partner company, Men's Health Men's Health Clinic. And
Right.
it's called Game Day. It's a health clinic for men.
Mm.
And they will take the blood and find out what your PSA numbers are and the testing of your blood test. And then we get them some help if we can on the next phase of the situation. But I didn't know what my numbers were walking around. I always say, give me 5 musicians and stand them in front of me. And I say, what's your PSA number? I don't know. What's your PSA number? I don't know. What's your PSA number? I don't know what PSA is. Hmm.
Hmm.
That's even where it starts, even before that. Knowing
Right.
what your PSA is so you can go get it tested and treated. So
Yeah.
with knowing, and I did it as an example, I did ask guys what were their PSA numbers and they had no clue. I didn't have a
Right.
clue what it was. I knew what the name PSA was, but I didn't know what it was, my numbers. And I said, well, fine, we will be the source to let you know what your numbers are. So you won't end up being like I am with prostate cancer. And it was fixable by meaning they can take it out and I will be okay. Some people leave theirs in, some guys leave theirs in and deal with the chemo and radiation. I did not want to deal with that. A friend of mine, keyboard player Eddie Fluellen with the group Switch, left his in and it came back and took him out. 2 weeks after he had it in, left it in for a year. He was back on tour. They were out. And then I get a text, Eddie's gone. I was like, what? Eddie's gone. It's like, no, it came back, went to his kidneys, took him out in 2 weeks. So that's how quick and how bad and how dangerous to some leaving it in could be. There are other people that left it in, had the chemo and radiation, and they're still functioning and it's fine. Well, everybody's different. I just
Yeah.
knew my decision was take it out as soon as he said what the options were.
Right. And so, what was the fear that most people have of it getting taken out? What, they start losing some functions, or
Yeah,
what's going
well,
on?
those are the two options he gives you. Said, okay, you have prostate cancer. We can do these one or two things. Chemo and radiation will try to kill all of the dead cancer cells around your prostate. But if it comes back and attaches itself to the area again, we can't use chemo and radiation again. So then you're subjected to whatever happens after that. Or
Mm.
you can have, and those are your options of leaving it in with the chemo and radiation. Taking it out, the options are, we don't know what total options are, issues that different people would have,
Right.
but we do know it won't come back. So it's basically, I called it, okay, you snatched it out, you cleaned out the garage, you swept the porch off, you made it into a car lot, you put apartments in there, but that prostate is gone. There will be no more. Well, there's a lot of men issues that happen when that happens, and a lot of men don't
Right.
want to deal with those men issues. So it's like
Right.
you either want to deal with the issues or you want to die. Which one do you want to do? And then that
Yeah.
makes you think about what you want to really do.
Yeah. These cats out here dying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah. Because
I have 5 kids, 5 grandkids, and 7 great grandkids. So I said, hey, take it out because I think the lab is closed. There will be not another baby made up in this bad boy. So remove all of the utensils, remove all the plugs and the whistles and get it out, sweep it out, clean it out, put up condominiums if you want to, but there will be no more children coming from that area. But a lot of guys don't want to deal with that because sex is involved with it, conversations involved with it, and
yeah.
they're we know what we are. We're just men, and and
Yeah.
that's all it is. And it's not that.
Yeah.
It's either that's all it is, or we're gathered here today.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, and that's the hardest choice for a man. You would think that other things out here would be hard. It's like, nah, we can make those decisions, but trying to lose the ability to be able to what? Okay, so
yeah.
Doc, what you say now? Like, so how this work? You know,
How
like,
can we get around that so I can still
yeah,
dude,
yeah,
you can't
yeah,
get around it. No, ain't there
yeah,
some method I can use? There are some different things that I've heard guys say they've done, they continued on with their life, and it's been okay. Like I said, everybody's different, and that also um, equates to your being, your makeup, your diet, your physical, all of that's
yeah,
involved
yeah,
in how far you can go after this thing is taken out of you. I
yeah.
just said it's out. Okay, I'm going on with life, but I won't put any emphasis on that part of life anymore.
Yeah, and I guess at that point it's like those, like you said, you was only given two choices. So in those two choices, you made that, and in those choices, I mean, listen, there's so much other stuff that's coming out of the value of your life, and like you said, you produced a long line of human beings. So it's not like a person who hasn't had the opportunity to reproduce and actually have that portion of life where they live out. Because most, there's so many people out here right now, like they talk about this a lot, but not as much as they should. Not a lot of men have children. Now it seemed like it would be, right? Because it's not a lot of men compared to women, but that's not the case. A lot of women are having children by the same men,
Yeah,
especially in certain areas. So it's not like that. So a lot of men don't really have children like that. So because and then again, a lot of men don't see the value and what they're actually doing. It's just the act, right?
yeah,
Just the act, of what that
exactly.
feeling is, and not the fact of, yo, listen, you got some things that you're doing. You might want to have somebody carry it for you. To shoot, I've seen people, in their older age and be left off somewhere in somebody's nursing home or something, and you know what
Yeah,
I mean? And because
yeah,
they don't have any family. Like they don't even
right,
have any children. Nobody to come, check on them or let them live with them until something, goes the way
right.
it's supposed to. Man, so hey, yo, we gotta give it up for the musicians, man, because I'm gonna tell you, that foundation is amazing because men need to know that, right? Like that's something
Yeah,
that they all need to do and they need to get checked, and it's preventative, right? If guys know how to,
yeah,
what prostate health really means and how you can actually exercise yourself in a place where you can avoid it. And you're right, food, diet, all the other stuff makes a difference.
yeah. And
But
there's two sides of it. There's the medical side of it that can
yeah,
help you, and then there's the, I guess they call it holistic side or natural
holistic.
side of it that helps. So that's another choice that a man has to determine whether they want to do the holistic medical side of it or they want to do take the pregabalin or the gabapentin and the this, that, and the other and the this, that, and the other and keep it at bay. And then there's the natural stuff. Then after the first question of me asking, do you know what your PSA numbers are? And then the fears, the fears that men have built up inside of them, which I had, and pretty much most men have. Ain't no way I'm letting a dude put his finger and
In my
then
yeah,
dot
yeah,
to the rest of the sentence.
yeah,
But now it's 2026. There's machines that can go right across you and tell you whether your prostate is enlarged. The finger thing is not that prevalent, big of a problem anymore. If you want to
yeah.
use an excuse, don't use that. Just find. I even told guys I will find female oncologists if they still have to do the finger thing, just to relax you, because it is a frightening, scary, humbling, pissed off feeling.
Terrible,
Because you go and sit
terrible.
down and the dude's like stand up and bend over. And then I'm like, can't you let the secretary at the front come and do this and tell you what the results are? I'm
Yeah,
not comfortable with you doing this. And he's like, no. I was like, I know. And then from that statement, he proceeded, and I started screaming like a 2-year-old baby getting my leg cut off. Oh, come on, man. Ah, dang it. Ah,
Yeah.
man, ain't you through? Come on, dude. Hurry up. I'm going, I mean, and I ain't the only one that goes through that, but I'm
Nah,
hurry
nah.
to flip up, dude. My thoughts are
Yeah,
getting
man.
deep, and you ain't you. I don't know what you in there doing.
Yeah. You're
If you're
doing too
having
much.
fun, or if you're trying to figure out some medical knowledge. So
Yeah.
he finally finished, and I was like, "Dang!" And he said, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I had to." I said, "Now
Oh man,
you
he
don't
was
have to
African?
do that." No, this dude was he looked like a Middle Eastern, not Middle Eastern. He looked like Dr. Fauci with the dadgum accent. So you look at Dr. Fauci from all of the COVID things.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
who I
yeah.
had now. A little Mel Brooks looking Dr. Fauci dude.
Dang, yeah. And that's
But
weird, man, because you gotta check people's fingers. How big is their fingers? That's
that too, exactly. But it's just, and it's a mental
That
thing.
is
Well, for me,
crazy.
for a lot of men, it's a mental thing. We're not gay as a man from the
right,
get-go. So we're not
right.
into it. We don't think about it. We don't even want it.
No,
And then
no.
now that you're saying, okay, now you have to have that happen, that messes with your mind.
Yeah,
And then, you say, okay, if I have to have it. When I was married originally, the second time, and my wife had insurance. So, and at 55, she nagging me like wives do, go get this done. I go into this older black man with the same mental man fear. And I just, okay, it's an older guy. B, he's black. C, we've had conversation. He's listened through my jokes and we've had some conversation. So I'm comfortable. But it still was not comfortable, the act. That's an unnatural act to a man.
right.
But put that next to saving your life or finding out if you got a life-saving situation, you make the decision.
Yeah,
But now, like I said, in 2026, how that part of the medical field has advanced, there is that machine that can go across you and find out
yeah,
if just like an MRI and X-ray,
yeah,
if your prostate's expanded or shrunk or whatever. And then they can do the medical stuff of helping you reduce the shrinkage of swelling and to get it back to its right size, exercise, and all of that stuff comes
right.
into.
Yeah. Well, it's good, man, because at least the person that you had kind of at least communicated with you, at least had conversations with you, didn't just meet you on the first date and try to ram you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
At least he let you get comfortable and talk to you into like
yeah.
what was going on. Kind of dated a little bit before they just. Yeah, I know. Yikes! My
But
son's
it's
laughing.
but but seriously, that's the two things. How did you know? I didn't know.
Right.
And what I'm scared to do this because it's a man thing that happens before you find out. Well,
Yeah.
I got past the if you don't know, that's what we're trying to do is let you know by
Right.
telling you what your numbers are and
Right.
then trying to figure out what it is we can happen to make you feel, you can get through this thing.
Yeah.
And I did all of this by myself, I did all
Right.
this by
Right.
myself. And God just kept putting stuff in my head. Okay, do the foundation, do the concerts, get the money, help the rest of these guys that don't have insurance. Fortunately, I had LA Care, which is a insurance company out here in Los Angeles that took care of everything.
Right.
The prostate exam, the surgery, and all of the after stuff. Now, by me taking it out, there was things that medical issues has happened. I've had blood clots in my legs. I've had edema. I've had neuropathy. I've had memory loss. Um, um, just I could be in mid sentence and say something and knowing what I'm getting ready to say next, and it's gone. I mean, it's just
Right.
like gone. And I read that, because I was like, okay, I know everybody says, what did I go in the kitchen for? And you forget, but I know what I go in the kitchen for is for food. So
Right.
I know that. But some people, what did I come in here for? And I've had opportunities on both sides of it that I know something that I was going to do. Okay, that was just a slip of the mind. But this foggy brain and this memory loss thing, all of that comes with that. But the main thing that comes with taking it out, and it may happen to everybody and may not, is your balance and your equilibrium is gone.
Mm,
So in school, there was history, math, biology, social studies. There was all those classes. Well, biology, I skipped and went to the band room. I would skip
gotcha.
class and go to the band. So I knew nothing about biology per se. So when they were telling me about this, your stomach sits on top, your prostate is in the middle, and your uterus is in the bottom. And once they snatched it out, then they had to connect the stomach to the urethra. And now everything goes straight through the stomach, straight to the urethra, and straight out. No processing, no filtering thing is there. And then once that middle is snatched out, your balance and your equilibrium is that. You got to make sure of every step you make.
Wow.
It's not that simple anymore,
Mm,
because your equilibrium that's naturally on the inside of you, for to step off of a curb, you can step and keep walking. Have your prostate taken out to step over a curb, you might continue stepping till you fall. So
wow.
I didn't know. So to get in my truck, to get in my car, pick your leg up to stick it in the car, and then you bring the other one up. That's pulling from your stomach area. That's pulling. Well, if you don't have a prostate there anymore, you don't have anything to pull from, and it becomes kind of painful. And it becomes
Wow.
so sometimes I get the right leg in, I have to reach over with my hand and grab the left leg to bring it in. So those are the medical issues that I've been dealing with for 4, 5 years. That's not, I take those issues over a deathbed any day.
Yeah. 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 Because I mean, I guess anything that you got to go through in life that's worth something, it's going to take a little effort to go through it, right? It's
Yeah.
not going to be easy, and that's what makes us who we are, is the way that we're able to go through adversity and deal with it, right? And not give
Yeah.
up and not allow, the things that are in front of us just to be the end of us. So, yeah, I commend you, man, and I definitely want to. I hope these brothers out here that are signing up with your nonprofit understand the sacrifice that you went through in order to have this vision, because there are a lot of people who start nonprofits just because they see it as a way to actually get some profit, right?
Right.
Not as actually going through something, and but you actually went through something that you're helping other brothers to try to help prevent the going through this whole situation.
Right.
So I hope they listen to your story, man, and understand the things that you're giving them, because, you know, you're still here, which is a blessing to your family and everybody else. I'm sure you're still rocking, your career's still going. But, the things that you have to deal with on a daily basis to keep going. We want you to
Yeah.
understand that's what you're trying to help prevent other brothers from going through. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, listen, y'all, he's trying to help you guys understand and go find out early. Just go find the smallest finger you can find. I mean, you gotta just
Check
gotta,
your doctors out before you go.
yeah, yeah.
If they some big African dudes, say that's okay, man. I'm gonna catch a dude down the hall.
That's so
Yeah,
crazy.
just go down there and find somebody with a smaller finger. You gotta go finger shopping. That's what you do. You gotta figure out, what finger works for you. I mean,
You,
because you
you
can't just
shake
go
your you
down.
shake your doctor's hand before you go in
Yeah,
and check
yeah,
it out.
yeah. And
Yeah.
just hold it real quick and see. Like,
Yeah.
okay, this, yeah, we gotta get a female doctor because normally their fingers are
Crazy.
small. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
yeah, just
But you know what,
so
Ron? You know
yeah.
what?
What's
The
up?
amazing thing about Victor, even though he's dealing with all that he's dealing with, when this guy hit the stage
Mm,
and get in his element,
right,
you will not know any
Any
of
of
those
this.
things are
right,
going on with him. He just keeps going. He's like the Energizer Bunny. He just keeps going and going and going. And Victor still have a lot of stuff going on. So trust me, his medical condition does not get in the way of in the way of his life. He still
right.
lives life to the fullest, and that's what I love about him.
I
That's
appreciate
amazing.
it. There's some other guys that are talking and helping, trying to help guys. So when I found out about when I put this thing together, And then I found out Tommy Jenkins from Cameo had prostate cancer. That's why I wanted him on the show. Greg Williams and Eddie had prostate cancer from Switch, and that's why I wanted them on the foundation show that I did. And then as I was doing the show, Montel Jordan came on and said he had prostate cancer. It came back. So I
Yeah.
got in touch with him. I wanted him on the show, but he was also doing a thing down in Atlanta, so he couldn't do it. But he said he wanted to meet me so we could talk about doing something together because he is trying to get the message out. There are different people on different levels trying to get the messages out for the guys, for us musicians. I
Yeah.
I decided to do mine on any level that I can reach, mainly on the level of the local musicians that play at a club and they get paid $100 a night. They got food, gas, and rent, and they have no way of having any extra to pay for insurance. Those are club guys that they don't see insurance. They don't have an insurance, and
Gotcha.
they let me get to those. And because my ex boss had fourth stage prostate cancer and almost died. Charlie Wilson almost died.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. We remember
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So, and he advocates on that level, but I'm on from that level down to the level of guys that will listen to my level. Charlie doesn't come down and do a show at a club and say, hey, this is for prostate cancer. He'll say it on an interview here or there, but I'll put the boots on and go down there and put a show on and say, guys, come and sign up. Let's get this done today. Because, you don't, and then I have guys that have had this also are saying, come on and get this done.
Right.
But
That's crazy. That's crazy. And this the switch. So that's the group where the oldest DeBarge brother was in, right?
right, Bobby DeBarge was in it. He's the one that sounded like El DeBarge before El DeBarge sounded like El DeBarge. He
Yeah.
learned from his older brother and took over and then made it more popular. But Bobby was in the group Switch, and
Mm,
they have that documentary out on one of those TV shows, one of those movies. It's a movie about the DeBarges and how the uphill and downhill of it.
yeah.
But El is
But
out there still dealing with it. He's still doing the El DeBarge thing.
yeah, we see that. But man, I don't know, man. I think that's your story is amazing, man. And I think, so many people need to hear it more uh because of all the things that you've done, right? And the fact that, you're a survivor, you actually even uprooted yourself from your home and traveled unknown places in order to fulfill your vision, because at that point it's not a dream anymore, you know uh it's actually a vision, and you've done that. So I hope what a lot of people take away from this conversation is a few things. Well, number one, perseverance, right? And also the ability to believe in yourself, because you know so many of us be looking for validation from outside people, wanting to make people happy, wanting people to believe in us, wanting people to be proud of us. Some of us are just looking to make people proud. And at some point, you have to learn how to make yourself proud and be okay with understanding that if you follow the vision that God has given you, making Him proud really is what blesses you at the end of the day, right? Because so many things that you can't see, so many things that you would never get to experience, you wouldn't have if you didn't have that support from the person
Yeah,
who's giving you the vision in the first place. So I hope so many people are inspired by your story, man, because it's a thin line between people who will check for what you are saying and the names that you called out and be like, man, he's been around all the greats or my favorites and this, that, and the third, but not understanding, the road that you took to get there and the things that you had to
yeah,
go through.
yeah, yeah. I've gone through a lot of people, played with a lot of people, and done a lot of things between recording and touring and television. And now these are all things that God had planned for me. So every day I wake up, I say, I'm up and I'm here because undoubtedly you're not through with me. There's plans
Mm,
on the table that I don't even know about. So now I went on a tour to New York to do the Gil Scott Heron play.
And you need to cut that baby stuff out. I'm trying to have an interview here. I don't know who that is. You need to be quiet. This is my time.
Yeah, that's my mini over there. He eating pizza and watching Sesame Street. He going crazy.
Well, put some headphones on and watch it quieter.
Yeah,
But
yeah, he do
anyhow,
got headphones on.
I went to New York and did this play. And the producer knew my situation. And I was, went to New York. I came back and she gave me a paper. She said, hey, this came across my desk. It's a casting notice. You can check it out if you want to. So I took it and I was busy doing other things and this, that, and the other, and pushed it to the side. And then I kept looking at it again, pushed it to the side. I always say God is trying to tell us something, and sometimes we're pushing what he wants us to do aside. And for me, I didn't know that paper was going to change my life. So I looked at the paper one day and oh, okay, senior citizen, cancer survivor, and what are you doing now? Ding, that's me. I filled it out and sent it in. Bam, congratulations, you are chosen. You will now be our face for Boost, the nutritional drink. I now have a national Boost commercial because I filled that paper out and sent it in. I am now opening up the commercial. Hi, this is Victor Orlando. I was diagnosed with cancer and I didn't know if I was ever going to get back on the stage. But after drinking Boost with its nutrients and blah, 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 I'm now able to get back on the stage and continue my life. That's my 30-second commercial for Boost, the nutritional drink. But I wouldn't have
Wow.
known that if I hadn't listened to God and continued, you know, get this paper and see what's around the corner. God already knew I had the commercial. I
Mm,
just needed to do the paperwork to get it.
do your part.
Yeah,
Man, that's for all of us, man. Man, we just gotta do our part. Just keep doing your part. Just keep showing up.
yeah.
Everything else will work itself out, man. That's amazing. Well, look, we have a few minutes left, but before we get out of here, man, we want to make sure that people can, if they need to follow and find out more about your organization and, just want to support you more, even from afar, how can they do so?
Well, you can find any of my musical stuff on YouTube, Victor Orlando 1. My foundation is on HOVF. No, let me see. Hope. What the name is Hope Foundation. VOHF, Victor Orlando Hope Foundation, VOHF.info.
Okay.
And they can donate so that I can help musicians. Right now, we only have a chapter in Los Angeles. I have already thought about trying to do something elsewhere at another time, but I just needed to get this ball rolling first. And it can help musicians, the information to sign on. I have Lawrence Hilton Jacobs on my board of directors, Billy Davis from group Fifth Dimension. He's the one I sit down and talk to about prostate cancer and got some more mentoring and knowledge about it before even doing this. So I asked him to be on my board also to help me out. So
Yeah.
people can find that. I'm on Instagram, Victor Orlando 7. And you can find me there on Facebook. You can find me there. I'm putting on shows all the time. The newest project I have now is Cinco de Mayo because I'm part Puerto Rican and I had the Puerto Rican heritage background. So we're doing a Cinco de Mayo featuring the music of Santana here at the Catalina Jazz Club in Hollywood. So we'll be
Yeah.
doing that on Cinco de Mayo. And I have a movie on the table. You may have seen some of it come out of me, and every now and then it comes out. I, if you've watched the movie called Black Dynamite, I'm in there playing
Yeah.
Richard Pryor with
Black Dynamite.
Michael John
Yeah,
White.
Michael John White.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's called Black
When it was
Dynamite.
70s.
I'm
Yeah.
playing Mudbone in the movie because I do some Mudbone pretty good, they say. See,
Oh,
so that's what I do.
wow.
I'm
Yeah.
announcing the band. Give a nice round of applause for Sundance and the Moonbeams. Come on, give it up, y'all.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
That's
that
right, boy.
yeah. That's my
that's what
joint,
Michael
man.
J. saw me do at a club one night, and he said, "I got a movie I'm doing called Black Dynamite. I want to
That's
put
that
you in it
joint.
to be the announcer." And I was like, wow, that is so deep because 40 years ago, on the beginning
Man,
of my journey to Los Angeles, I got cast in 3 of Rudy Ray Moore Dolomite's movies.
black exploitation
Petey
film.
Wheatstraw, Dolomite, and Human Tornado. I'm in there acting and playing music. And then for
Wow.
40 years fast forward, now this guy's asking me to be in a spoof of the movies that I
Well,
did for real.
yeah, that's
So that was an
crazy.
accomplishment for me. But from that, not even from that, I had already written a Mudbone movie. It's called Switch. And we are
Mhm.
looking for financing. Lawrence Hilton Jacobs, which is a good friend of mine from Cooley High, he was co-chief in Cooley High. He wants
Yeah.
to direct it. Have Hawthorne James in it from Five Heartbeats. He's in it. Willard
Mhm.
Pugh, who played Harpo in Color Purple, he's in it. Ola Ray, who was the girl in Michael Jackson's Thriller, she's in it. And
Wow.
Art Evans, who passed on, was in Soldier Story. He was in it. It's a mob type romantic comedy movie. And these
Wow.
guys signed on to be in it with me. And we're gonna make it it's kind of like Which Way Is Up that Richard did, where he played 3 characters. When
Mm.
I'm playing 2 characters in this one. But we're
Dope.
gonna have fun with it. So those are things on my table that I keep waking up and said, okay, God, I'm gonna get to them. I'm gonna get to them. I know. And I know God knows what's around the corner. But all I need to do is just wake up every day.
That's it, man. That's amazing, man. Listen, to all of y'all that's watching, will watch this playback, man. I hope y'all got so much information out of this program today, because the Combo Corner is here, and this is what we do. We bring real live stories. Me and Gloria, we bring real live stories to real life people, and we want y'all to make sure that y'all follow Mr. Victor Orlando, man. Okay, and catch up with everything he has going on. Be on the lookout for the new movies, and make sure, if you find it in your heart to want to help and support, prostate cancer and, the whole thing that go along with that, please reach out and support their foundation. Gloria, any last things you want to say before we get out of here?
I just want to say, Victor, thank you for being our guest today, for coming on and telling your story. And Victor is just a wonderful guy, and as I say, he's a friend of mine, and we hang out when I come to LA at sometime. And I'll see you in LA, back in LA,
Okay.
Victor.
I'll be waiting for you. And it's so nice meeting you, my brother. And thank you for
Yeah,
this platform.
yeah, man, definitely, bro. I appreciate you for coming on, sharing your story with me, man, for real.
Oh, no
But
problem. I'm gonna keep doing what
definitely,
I'm doing. You keep doing what you're doing, and we'll meet again at the crossroad.
facts. We definitely gonna meet
Amen.
again. That's a fact. We're gonna meet in person. Watch, it's coming down.
Yep,
Amen.
yep.
I
And
definitely.
this year, I will be 74. And if I can keep it
Wow.
rolling, I've never done drugs, drank, or smoked in my entire life. So that attests
Wow.
to me continuing and my body not deteriorating to where I look and feel and act that now. But it gives
Mhm.
me the power to keep going forward because I got my car has not been damaged. That way.
Exactly.
I may have a loose tire or a loose battery or the alternator's gone, it's been replaced, but the car
Right.
has not been damaged in 74 years.
That's a fact. That's something to, yeah, that's something for people to really, really, really want to hone in on, because health is wealth.
Yeah. And if you're not healthy, you're on your back and you're not helping nobody, not even yourself.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Definitely. So look, y'all, we want to make sure that y'all catch up with Mr. Victor Orlando, man. Find out everything he has going on. Make sure y'all connect with Miss Gloria Peoples, man, because she is the one out here, yo, making everything shake and connect and move, yo. Okay. And I'm your boy Rod One. This is Spark-N-Conversations Convo Corner, and we'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.
Peace.